Now, the next paragraph say one of the basic objectives of our organizational structure. Now, in the past, there are past literature
Mm-hmm.
that has one of the basic objective of the Black Gangster Disciple Nation is that was taken out, and we actually in a previous podcast, the original Lil John, Johnny Murray explained why that was taken out, because he said that we in the beginning they was growing and developing the same way we was growing and developing, and as time went on things had to change, so they changed that and put in the organizational structure. All right, but that's that piece of literature is still around. So if you still have that piece of literature, that don't mean that it's wrong. It don't mean that it's wrong. It don't mean, because that is legitimate. That is the original. That's the way that was the way that it was originally written. But in that elevation, it was changed. So hey, if y'all got that, it's not a big dispute. It's not no problem with it. Hey, let's not make nothing. Let's not make no big fuss about it.
Stages and degrees.
Yep, step, stages, and degrees, as they say. To obtain the means of self-determination for our peoples. Now, our peoples, let's get this understood.
Mm-hmm.
Our peoples doesn't necessarily mean just the color of our skin as our people. That means it's everybody that's going through exactly what we're going through. If
So
you
anybody in the same condition or situation
exactly
is our people.
is our people.
Okay.
We cannot possibly determine anything without being aware of our situation as well as our alternatives. It said we cannot possibly determine anything without being aware of our situation. So that means we have to become aware of our situation. In order to become aware of our situation, that means there has to be some teaching going on, right?
Facts.
That means there has to be some education going on. That means that we got to be inside the classrooms, not just inside the school classroom, but we got to be in the classroom, period, being able to understand what our conditions are and what our
So,
alternatives are.
question.
Yes.
Would that tie back into the preface where it says the economical and political realities of Black America?
Let's go ahead and see then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it says, our governing body has decided to take on a new concept of organization. We know concept means idea. Organization, we already broke down what an organization is. So we coming with a new idea of organization. So that means even under the old laws, it was still considered as an organization.
Facts.
So, but it had to come with a new idea on how to advance the organization. All right.
Mm-hmm.
A concept that will bring us into the 80s and prepare us for the political and economical realities of Black America. That's what that means. So now let's take the 80s out, right? Because we know we're not in the 80s no more.
No, we're in 2000s now.
We're in 2023. So now you got to say a concept that will bring us into the 2000s. And
Okay, now TP,
uh-huh.
forgive me for interrupting right here, right? Because I just thought about something. Because the conditions and situations of the 90s is what led us into our current condition and situations in the 2000s.
Okay.
As
So
an
that's
example,
okay.
the crime bill.
So that's
Was it a
1980.
1994 crime bill?
That was 1984. That was the
Mm.
1984 bill that came out in 1984 up under Reagan.
And then Bill Clinton had another bill that came out
That came out 10 years later
in 94.
in 94.
And both these bills laid a foundation to our condition now.
Exactly.
So both these bills deal with the economical and political realities of Black America or the inner city condition.
Oh, just not say the inner city condition.
Mhm.
Let's just say low income.
Okay. The
The low
low
income.
income condition.
Yes. So we're gonna say that that could be all over the United States because almost every household throughout the United States of America that comes from low income and some form of poverty, lost direction, and progressive state of self-destruction experience has some form of experience with those bills,
Mm,
whether it was on a state level or a federal level, because a lot of states stopped making their state laws in uh, mirroring the federal laws.
right.
You
Right.
know, so those two laws, and we have to remember now that Joe Biden was a part of both of those laws.
That's facts. He was.
So we have to be able to pay attention to everything that's going on and everything that has occurred and how it affects us today.
Mm,
It affected almost every household. It affected your household. It affected my household. It affected almost all our households. Somebody in our
mhm,
families either wind up dead, in jail, sprung out on drugs, homeless, uh, in some form of wretched conditions.
mm.
You see what I'm saying?
So, would it be safe to conclude that the 94 crime bill, the 84 crime bill, all tie in to COINTELPRO and the gang investigation unit?
Yes, yes. Because we spoke on COINTELPRO, and we know that
Hmm.
COINTELPRO is still alive. It's real. COINTELPRO is real. It's COINTELPRO is going on right now.
Yes, it is.
You know, so we have to be. We may think that we are in a better condition than we were back, say, 2 or 3 decades ago, but it's the same conditions. It's the same conditions. Those conditions hasn't changed. They just morphed. You know what I'm saying? It's like a
They became more politically acceptable.
yes, because now they think that we have gotten ahead because we see more Asiatic millionaires, wealthy peoples. But you also have to remember we spending more money, but our net worth as a people has declined by 14%.
Mm.
So we think that we in a better condition because we're spending more money, but our net worth is declining. You see? So uh uh that's exactly where we at, man. So it says this awareness does not come from acting foolish nor from being lax in your effort to learn. So in order to become aware of what's going on, we cannot be foolish. We cannot be ignorant. We cannot act like buffoons, nor can we be lazy in our effort to learn. Man, that's deep.
We
That's
gotta be
deep.
persistent. That's what that means.
The oath of persistence. We have to have the oath of persistence. And this is where those of us who are in the know, it's our responsibility to go back down and grab those and bring them up. We have to be able to meet our peoples where they're at in their understanding and bring them up to where we are. It's the same way those who are no more than we know have to come down and grab us and meet us where we at and bring us up to where they're at.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Each
Each
one
one,
reach one, teach one.
there you go. There you go. So therefore, the leadership has opened up avenues for you to gain a perspective on life, our situation, and all aspects of progressive awareness. Life. So so they was opening up avenues for us to gain a perspective on life, our
And
situation, and all progressive
that's the
awareness.
thing I was looking at. Progressive awareness. Because that expresses two different kinds of awareness. You have awareness that doesn't lead to any form of progression whatsoever. That means you just know what's going on, but you're not doing nothing with the knowledge that you have.
Okay.
Suspended animation. Then you have progressive awareness, which means you are aware of what's going on and you're doing things that lead to the growth and development of your environment, which means educationally, you know what's going on, economically, you know what's going on, politically, you know what's going on, socially, you know what's going on. And even with knowing all those things, you know how to secure each one of those fields of progression, which
Okay.
progression means to move forward, to accelerate,
Yes.
which ties back into the definition of organization.
Collective acceleration of the group as a whole.
Exactly.
All right. It says one such awareness is the awareness sessions conducted by the legal arm of the organization. So this was being done by the legal arm. Now, do we understand the importance of why we have to see what uh, uh, the legal department means? All corporations, all organizations has a legal department. I guarantee you, Microsoft got a legal department.
That leads me to something.
Uh huh.
Okay, it's conducted by the legal arm, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in any field or endeavor, you have to have a branch of self defense. So the legal arm would be a form of self defense for the organization.
Okay. Break that down because you're saying self defense.
Yes. Okay. As a prime example, right? I own a corporation.
Right.
Now, by me owning a corporation, America has corporate laws that I must follow. I may not be good at corporate law, but I will have a legal department that specializes in corporate law to defend my company from any legal attacks.
Exactly.
So that would be a self defense for my corporation.
Yes. Because you dare to protect us from you dare to protect us from within the law. You can say from the law, but within the law.
Okay.
Now, look at what the awareness session was going to consist on, bro.
Talk to me.
It say the entrance of our members are many. We have many interests, not just one, two, three, four, five. We got many interests.
hmm
Therefore, the subjects of the awareness sessions are many. So, if we have many interests, that means that the subjects are going to be many.
Facts.
So that means all it was going to be all range, all spectrum was going to be covered by the legal arm. The legal arm does not just necessarily mean going into a courtroom and litigating. The legal department also does many other things, and we're going to see based
hmm
on this document. It say listed below are the objectives of the awareness session. So now here go the objectives of the awareness sessions. One, bring a vast range of intelligence to to the availability of the peoples. So bring a vast range of intelligence to the availability of the people. So what is the root word of intelligence?
Intel.
Intel. So the legal arms responsibility was to, and along with the awareness session, was to bring a vast range of intel to the availability of the peoples.
Okay, now let's deal with the word intel.
Yep.
Because intel, if you break that down, is actually the explanation of that which makes up a thing or that which causes a thing to be.
Okay. Let's see what the definition says. Uh
Go ahead and get Webster on me.
yeah,
I like that.
yeah. We got the let me go. Let me grab Webster right quick. Here we go, y'all. I grab Webster. So we studying now. This is
Yes,
what we
Lord.
do. This is what we do, y'all. We study. We break things down. Intel, secret information,
Mm,
specifically when gathered for military purposes.
mm,
That's what it says. Secret information. So that means that they were going to be bringing us intelligence,
mm. That
intel
which is not commonly known.
that was not commonly known
Okay.
to the general public, so to make us aware of our what? Of our life, of our situation, as well
Condition.
as well as our conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And to bring us a progressive awareness.
Mm,
Two, promote an environment of creativity amongst the peoples. So we know creativity means promote an environment of being able to create. We want all members to be able to have some form of creativity, to be able to do something without being told.
initiative.
The initiative, using your talents and your skills, not being afraid to use your talents and your skill. Whatever you are good at doing, use it.
Okay.
Practice the art of debate. That's why, and when we was in, I was in the state of Illinois prison system. I was always encouraged to get into, um, to get into debate classes, the
What
debate
is
courses.
debate first?
The
Let's break that down.
debate, debating is basically what you see what they be doing, what politicians does. Debating is basically what we're doing right now. We're practicing the art of debate right
So
now.
debate is not arguing.
No, debate is not arguing. See,
Debate has nothing to do with disrespect.
no, that has nothing to do with it. And that's when people say, "Man, I'm not going to debate with you." No, you basically saying I'm not going. You're not debating with me. We arguing. Because if me and you were debating, I could respect your. I could respect what you're saying, and you could respect what I'm saying, even though we may not necessarily agree on the positions that we taking. But I'm not going to be disrespectful towards you.
Hmm,
I'm just going to state. I'm just going to state. Okay, here's my position, and you're going to stay. Here's your position. And at the end of that particular debate, we could still walk away. We could disagree without being disagreeable.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So debating would be more like sharing each other's stance
Yes.
without being offensive.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's cool to debate. It's not cool to argue.
It's not a cool to argue. It's not cool to be disrespectful.
Got you.
Because
Got
even though I might not necessarily agree with your stance on a particular position or a particular issue, I'm not going to be disrespectful towards you on that. I can respect you because at the end of the day, you still my brother. I just don't agree with you on that, and you
you.
don't
Okay.
agree with me on a particular issue. But we can always be able to find common ground.
And that's the common sense approach.
That's the common sense approach.
Okay. All right.
Inspire dignity in our peoples by introducing them to a black history as well as a black heritage.
Hmm.
Introducing them to a black history as well as a black heritage.
Okay. Now I got a question.
Hmm.
This gonna be touchy ground.
Okay.
We have individuals in our organization, right, as
Yeah.
being growth and development
Right.
that are not black,
Okay.
that don't come from a black heritage.
Okay.
So, what would be their place in that situation?
In order to become a part of this organization, you got to understand what this organization was, how this organization was built. So if you believe in the overall growth and development of the organization, then that means you got to believe in black history as well as a black heritage. You got to be able to respect that and understand that. If you can't respect that and you can't understand that, then you can't understand how this organization, on what this organization was built upon, on how this organization sprang up. Because these organizations were started during the 60s, during the height of the civil rights movement within our communities for protection. That's how a lot of these organizations were started.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Being that they were started in the 60s, the heights of the civil rights movement, the black power movement, right?
Uh-huh.
If I can't accept the black culture experience of that era in time, and I can't accept the black heritage of that era in time, is that also saying that I can't relate to the struggle?
No, you cannot relate to that particular struggle because you're missing. That's why I said inspire dignity in our peoples
Mm.
by introducing them to a black history as well as a black heritage. So you have to inspire dignity in our people. You got to let our peoples know, man, who you are. What is dignity? Dignity is self-worth.
Facts.
Inspire, basically what you're saying when you use to be, if you misplace dignity, you are saying inspire self-worth in our peoples.
And
That's
one
what
would
you're saying.
have to know the struggle of
There you
our
go.
people to be able to do that.
There you go. And being able to understand your life, your situation, as well as a progressive awareness of life. I mean, of the organization.
Okay.
Two,
I,
in
I want to
general.
make sure I had a clear understanding of that. That's why I asked that question.
Yes. Two, in general, uplift the mental, emotional, and spiritual growth of our peoples. So the overall objectives was, in a nutshell, speaking generally, was to uplift the mentality, was to uplift us mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Hmm.
That's the in a nutshell, that's what it was about. That's what the awareness session was built upon.
Mind, body, and soul.
There you go.